Hello, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars uh, Ahsoka, or simply the Ahsoka show, episodes 3, 4, and 5. There's not much to talk about in episodes 3 and 4, as they're all leading up to episode 5. So, at the end of episode 2, they had gotten into. Ooh, we have our first comments. Hey, we got a streambots running over on Phil's stream, who we're also co-streaming on. Hey there, new person, Grey God, good to see you, man.
Oh,
Like to say hello to our good friend Admiral Teague. Hey there, Thomas Potts. So, episode 3 of Star Wars Ahsoka, which is called Time to Fly. So, what did you think of episode 3, guys?
I it was like a alright episode.
It was.
It didn't really excite me.
No, episode 3 basically opens up with Ahsoka training Sabine Wren how to use the Force. We learned that she doesn't know the Force, and this whole episode can be summed up in a few minutes. They go out looking for the orb, they don't find. They find the orb, it gets taken from them, and they then get into a space battle which has a very stupid scene in it. And after that, they end up crashing on a planet. And when they're there to do repairs, that's when we run into episode 4. I'm just skimming over these guys because I really want to talk about episode 5, if that's okay.
mhm.
Episode 4 was called The Fallen Jedi. Fallen Jedi leads on a mission to find the spot of where the galactic map to lead their Scooby crew from one galaxy into another is. Whilst there, there's a battle between the female Jedi apprentice and also her weird brother zombie thing. That when Ahsoka kills him, he bursts into smoke. After he bursts into smoke, they end up going back, and Balin turns around and he's trying to coax Sabine, if not to the dark side, but then just more to join them. Guys, do you think he was coaxing her to the dark side or just to join him? Because I don't think he is dark side.
I don't think he's dark side either.
I think it's just joining him.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of joining him in his cause because I don't even think he has any dark side allegiance at all. I think he's similar to the character from the new Star Wars game, Survivor,
Yes.
where he's just kind of a former Jedi who's now chased selfish ambitions to the point for his blade and stance in the Force to change. And now that he's chasing Thrawn, I'm not sure what his purpose for chasing Thrawn is. I can't think of a single reason about what he could gain from chasing Thrawn, though. That's what's probably perplexed me this whole series.
So when it comes up to his lightsaber, I genuinely think that we're getting something from Legends and the EU, but what no one else has expanded on. I think that the orange instead of red, I think orange is synthetic.
No. It's like they explain this. It's the same process as bleeding one to red, but your stance in the Force has a lot more to play with it. It's kind of specifically from what I've been able to kind of figure out via other videos and just reading more about it, is that basically when a former Jedi then changes their stance, not to something to dark side intentions, but to take a more righteous kind of a Jedi who's looking after their more own interests than the will of the Force, but they're not necessarily chasing the dark side, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
It's it's kind of like a very selfish Jedi, basically. That's what kind of orange is. It's they're using the Force in the same way Sith would, but their intentions are different.
Now, that leads on to the end of the episode, to where we see Anakin Skywalker after Ahsoka gets knocked in and Sabine gets taken off. That brings us to episode 4. Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of episode 4? Sorry, episode 5.
So, episode 5 had a lot of like good points, and then one that kind of made me look at it a
I will
little
let you
funny,
talk
but
about that at the end.
talk about that later.
Yeah. So, FPS?
So I would say from this most recent episode, there are a ton of absolutely killer points and moments throughout the entire episode. I would say my biggest complaint about the episode is that it wasn't longer. And one of the things that really kind of hit me and like kind of got me in my feels a little bit is that
Hold on,
scene
Max,
where just
I
I'm
will
going to
find
just
out
throw
if I have a way to do that.
I do. There you go.
but that scene where she goes from directly from older Ahsoka to like younger Ahsoka, and you get to see Anakin in his Clone Wars armor, and specifically like Hayden in his Clone Wars armor and stuff. It looks so good. And I mean, I personally like think the CGI on Hayden's face is a little weird, how they kind of de-age him a little bit. I get it why they do it, but like at the same time, like, you know.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite things about it is that the entire fight. Oh, you twat. Oh, we're twats. Oh, yeah. She just started. Five things that you're barely talking. Dude, we just
Act
started.
like this
5
ain't
minutes.
normal.
We had to summon her from the void.
Quit being new
So-
here.
Okay, so what he's talking about is in the world between worlds where Ahsoka's talking to Anakin. She in her fight with Anakin gets knocked back and she gets sent back in time. Now, here's the interesting thing. Anakin during this is the CGI on Anakin. I think he was DH quite well. What do you think of the?
in the Kenobi show? The de-aging.
We don't talk about that.
I keep wanting
Yeah,
to say
I like
the little
the
curl on
better
his head.
show. I felt like it was a lot more subtle.
Yeah, like I like.
But
this,
that
like,
there
where
were
he-
some good shots. Like that one was a good shot.
He felt like Clone Wars Anakin, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he kept telling Ahsoka, either you fight or you die. And we got to see him interestingly in more of a teacher role when they were on right now. For those who don't know, the first battle in the memory lane is on Ryloth, and while they were on Ryloth, it's going now. I have to say, I am very thankful. Here is live action Ahsoka from Ryloth. I'm very thankful that they changed her outfit because someone needs questioning.
Most definitely.
I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the outfit change too. I felt more appropriate for around that
warrior.
age.
Young age
Yeah.
warrior, like throughout the whole vibe, it just fit so much better.
Yes.
It was kind of
Um,
like some miniature Siege of Mandalore armor, and I kind of liked
speaking
that.
of- Yeah, speaking of, we then got cut to later on to where Anakin's like talking to her because he's like, I do not recognize this battle. Where we see this, the Siege of Mandalore, live action, which is fantastic.
It was
Also, we got to see live action clones, which,
That
by the way,
was-
this is actually Tamara Morrison in the Rex armor.
I believe that.
Now,
I thought I recognized his voice.
yeah, this scene I fucking loved. when he switched from Anakin over to Vader. Hold on. Ayla's Ayla Secure Wars came close. That was kind of a Twi'lek thing. That is very true. Yes, it was a Twi'lek thing because Ayla Secure started it because the Twi'leks were used predominantly as sex objects. I'll put it to you like that. So in their
I just
culture,
didn't
they
know
all
this.
I would like to see your phone on your search history.
I'm so serious. I did not know this. You're setting me down in a dark rabbit hole right now.
Oh.
So the female Twi'leks were prized for their beauty and their sex appeal, while the male Twi'leks were prized for being stronger than the average humanoid male. While the males were generally forced into bodyguards, conscription, they tended, when they got off Ryalot after the occupation, they tended to go down the crime route. While the females were always prostitutes. That's why we saw them in Jabba, where she was dressed in the bikini and things like that. Now, Ayla Secura decided to take this back, right? And she's like, I am not going to wear the Jedi robes. I'm going to wear what I want. And this is what I want. I am free. I can do what I want. And that is why she wore what she wore. Favre says, Twi'leks were highly valued as entertainers and sex workers. Yeah, that's all we're going to just force sex workers. Hey, it's good to see you, Castle. Now, they did change it. Now, the thing is, they're not saying that she didn't wear the halter top. What they did was that they were changing it because she was viewing herself as being older. She feels older. So when she went back to being younger, she didn't know quite where she was. She felt out of place because if you notice, she was talking older than she was for younger Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So,
there would have been a lot of questions, I feel like, for Anakin if she was like more in the mindset of like younger Ahsoka. It felt like I want to say it was almost like us perceiving in her mind like Vietnam War flashbacks of like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, Phil, you're being quiet. What's your take?
I thought the flashbacks were actually good. Like, I don't like. Well, at first I thought the young Ahsoka was annoying, but then I had to like rewatch the cutscene, like the flashbacks by itself, and I thought she was alright.
Yeah, a lot of the fight. Now, after she was talking with Anakin, she's like, I don't want to fight. Like, as if she's done. Because from Ahsoka's point of view, she has been fighting since she was 14 years old, her entire life. She is now nearly 50. She is done. She is tired. And so she's just done. She doesn't want to. And sadly, Anakin had to point out, if you stop fighting, you will die. Because there's bigger wars out there. She has to keep fighting. Keep up the fight and everything, like, and all this. Which is sadly what she has to do. But she accepts that. But the thing is, she keeps saying, I'm not going to fight you, Anakin. But she does. Right? And when she does, Anakin... There's a lot of references in this fight. There's Anakin at the beginning of it. Now, Anakin here is more of your typical Jedi Master pose, if you notice. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did any of you notice this move? This move, pose, face. Any of you get the reference?
It looks so familiar. I want to say it's the same pose that Luke had.
Nope. Rebels.
Oh, Rebels, yeah.
Ahsoka, there it is from the site, because that is when that's what Vader was doing with Ahsoka in Star Wars Rebels, just before she entered into the World Between Worlds. Now, this pose here, everyone's like, oh, the lightsaber changed her eyes. No. What this is a reference to is Dark Ahsoka, because all this fight was one big memory lane. Our comment is Philip Blair. Oh, Farv, I absolutely get it. No, I do, man. I completely and utterly get it. Rebels isn't for everyone, and I'm not pointing out the good or the bad of Rebels. I'm just pointing out the references from this scene. Everyone is more than welcome to their opinion about Rebels. Our ex-friend, who I won't say, did quite sour Rebels for us. If you get me, Max, do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
So
the one thing that I did like they did, callback wise, wasn't to Rebels though. Was to Return of the Jedi. Was when Ahsoka said, I don't want to fight you," and
I've heard that
Anakin said,
before.
I heard that before." Clearly making a fun to Luke
Yeah, and she
in
also threw the
Return of the
lightsaber
Jedi.
away in the same way as Luke did.
Mm-hmm.
Threw away Vader's lightsaber. Did anyone pick up on the audio cue, which I had to point out to Maxis? When Anakin's eyes were red, when he had the red saber, this Anakin, okay, when he was Vader,
Mm-hmm.
he was walking like Vader. When he walked, he made the sound of Vader's suit walking.
Oh, dude, I
Nick,
gotta
have
rewatch
you?
the episode.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I get it, buddy. Trust me, I do. But I mostly like Rebels, so for me, I'm enjoying the show. Maxis is it's honestly fun.
There
Okay,
are
so
so Rebels is weird because like I recently wanted to start watching. I recently had her rewatch it with me, so that way we could prepare for Ahsoka. She did not finish it. Newsflash. And I think part of the reason is that the first like 2 seasons do a great job of kind of prepping the characters for like deeper and like expanded
yes,
story content in the last 2 seasons. But at the same time, 2 seasons is a very long time to actually start a show getting really kind of good low key.
that is true. Honestly, that is why I did not get into Naruto, which I have. Maxis, I know you're not a fan, but I'm just going to use you as reference because you're you're our local weeb. I have said this whenever Maxis is talking about getting us into anime. I always ask her, and Farv as well, he can tell. I refuse to wait 40 episodes until the show gets good. You get me? So I completely get
To
the
be
2
fair,
episodes.
Naruto is like mostly filler.
Yeah,
That's
Naruto is
true,
Farv
but
said-
also I'm not gonna lie. In Naruto, it just depends on when you feel like the show gets good. Because there are some people who are like, "Bro, it got good after fucking Rock Lee throws off his fucking weighted his weights
Yeah.
and shit."
Now,
That's when like it got hard and stuff. But like
just
there are
to
also
swing-
some people who are like, it doesn't get good until you see the final scene between Naruto and Sasuke in the original Naruto series beating the fuck out of each other in Final Valley.
Now, just to swing back to what we were talking about. Whilst Ahsoka is missing, Hera Syndulla comes looking for her and brings the ghost. She also brings a squadron. Now, this squadron was actually the cast that was meant to be in the cancelled show squadrons, which is why they're in the rest of the Mandalorian verse. Right? Now, for FPS, yes, that is why. They're
Okay.
So in the Mandalorian, they kind of had to panic. That's why Mandalorian season 3 is a bit of a mess. It's because they had to cram a load of squadrons into it. That's why it's a mess.
Okay.
So, did you notice, Phil, you as well, what was on the console of Hera's ship?
It was Kanan, a picture of Kanan.
Yes. A picture
I didn't notice that. Yo, Potato, why are you pausing throughout the episode and finding like Easter eggs, bro?
I'm sorry.
so weak. I did not notice any of this shit watching it my first time through last night. You clearly
Have
pay
you
way
not
more
met
attention
me?
than I do.
Max, how fast did I pick up on things?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of it, but like, holy cow. I did not notice that picture of Kanan like right there.
Oh, I noticed that like my first watch through.
Yeah. Okay, so Farm says, the way they characterize Hera is horrid. Even the Alliance forces have fucking standards and laws and punishment for disobeying direct orders. Okay, that is brought up in this episode. So Hera disobeyed a direct order where she went to look for Ahsoka. They were out looking for, and let's just say the better part of a day, maybe a couple of hours, say 26 hours. Just say time to get there plus a day looking. Max, what is our day count of since the cat was last fed?
That cat is decomposing.
Yeah, we're at least 2 weeks since the cat from episode 1 was fed. So at the end of the episode, the fleet comes and which is now 3 ships, but they're there and they're like, okay, we have you've disobeyed the direct order. You have to come back to Coruscant to face charges to see is your commission going to be like completely suspended.
And she
So-
also requests Ahsoka come along because Ahsoka's her best chance to keep her in rank.
Yeah,
Or Fauci for
Now,
her, I should say.
yeah. Now we don't know what's going to happen to Hera, but the thing is, like, they were kind of vindicated, but she's still. If you notice, they never took the tractor beam off of Hera. They kept it on Hera. So
Aaron.
this is from Phil's. Oh no, poor kitty. This one says yes, they are discussing removing her rank. She's in process of punishment for being disobeyed. Yeah. Pre Disney, they would have ion cannoned her ship when she started leaving, though. Then towed it back and arrested her. Yeah. So whilst Hera was out looking, she said on the planet they were out looking for Ahsoka. Whilst they were there, they told Jason, "Oh yeah, you and Chopper, the known war criminal, can go and play." Right? Jason goes over to the water and he keeps staring. Now, this is the first sign in the show that Jason has the Force. Now, apparently this is known, but here it is. Here's the actor staring out. Now, this is where he's waiting. But the thing is, he tells Hera, "Can you hear the lightsabers?"
Okay, that part was I had a bit of an issue with, only because like Hera, there should have been no way Hera could have heard the lightsabers.
She
Jason
didn't hear
made
him.
sense, not Hera.
No, Hera didn't hear him. She was humoring him. She didn't hear him.
Oh,
Okay, because I had actually the same like kind of like low-key issue with it too, Phil. I'm like, it felt very. It's the new Disney. Everyone's force sensitive type shit, and I'm just like,
No, if you look, watch her face. Her face is what gives it away. She closes her eyes. Camera goes to her, you hear waves. Camera goes to him, you hear lightsabers. Right? Camera goes back to her. She looks down. She smiles a little bit. Then she goes back, says, "We're go now." For me, this is her solidifying he has the Force. He knows what he's talking about. It's like his father, right? Then the robot for the first time says he has abilities. His father was a Jedi. They didn't say Hera has abilities. He has abilities. They were listening to him, not Hera. Hera did not hear it. It was just him because the sound cues was camera, Hera, waves. Camera, Jason, lightsabers.
you know, like because I've heard this theory too online. What would you guys feel if Jason was one of Luke's apprentices?
I don't think that's where it's going. Where I think it's going is I think that we're going to go to the other galaxy and over there.
I
they're
mean,
going
at
to
this
set up-
point, does that even make sense from a timeline perspective?
no.
Mm.
Actually, yeah, because he's roughly the right age to be trained by Luke. He'd be one of Luke's first students. But
Yeah, he's
'cause
about
this is
11
actually-
at this time, give or take.
yeah, this show is running concurrent to the season 3 of Mandalorian. That is when Ahsoka is taking place, concurrent to Mandalorian season 3.
And Mandalorian happens what? Shortly after the first Battle of Yavin?
Mandalorian takes place 5 years post Yavin.
Post Yavin?
Yeah, it takes 5
Okay,
years
so I
after
mean, it's
Return of the
possible.
Jedi.
Mandalorian season 1 is 5 years. Mandalorian season 2 is 6 years. 2 years skip between Mandalorian season 2 and season 3. Then you have Ahsoka, which is 7 years post Battle of Yavin.
7-8 years.
Yeah. Hey Mary, good to see you. Barv says anything is possible
Hey, Mary.
is a new addiction to the universe. Yes,
I
then
mean,
again, it's Space Wizards.
I would say yes and no to that, though, because, like, I mean, there are a lot of kind of, I would say, outlandish things that happened in what I'm going to call old Legends continuity.
Yeah.
And,
We'll give it its
like,
proper
things
term.
like
Hold on, we're going to use its proper term. EU.
they're like, I'm trying to think of their name right now, but there was a run in the EU where, gosh, I think it was the B. It's like the word they use, but they're a set of aliens who are like almost omnipotent beings. Like there's, I think, a chick who can like make people feel things, like like extreme pain or like sadness to the point where it's like crippling. I forget what their freaking names are.
Are you talking about no, Phil, it means expanded universe.
It's like
you talking
there's
about the
3 of them.
Mortis?
No, it's old expanded universe stuff, but one of them's like basically a gelatinous blob, but it's not the null. It's a different thing.
Barb, you might know.
It's like a super deep cut, but yeah, like I would use that as an example of like I would say that's probably an example of like anything can happen. I mean that's part of the reason I kind of low-key love like Star Wars as a whole, even when like the old Star Wars when I was a little kid, that like anything was pretty much possible.
Yeah. Now the thing is, they keep looking for Ahsoka whilst Anakin is teaching her lesson. After she refuses to fight, hold on, afraid not. That one is a bit obscure. Yeah, true.
It's a really deep cut. Again, I would be shocked. I'm shocked that I hardly remember it, but it came to my mind when I was thinking of like obscene shit that Star Wars has done.
Yeah. So at the end of it, at the end of the fight, Anakin turns around and he says to Ahsoka's like, "I will not fight you." Picks up the lightsaber, but he's like, "Then you will die." Which is when we get this, right? This is when he stops, and she looks into the lightsaber. Now, the people do say the lightsaber changes her eyes. This is the opposite side. It's not, because as I pointed out earlier,
it changed her eyes. I think what happens was like she tapped into the dark side.
No, it was. Remember, this whole episode was a memory. It was her memory of the dark side. That was when she was being controlled by the brother.
I can see that too.
Yeah. Hold on. It's also probably wasn't canon at the time. Not all of EU was. That is true. Now she gets Sith eyes. Yeah, that's from the brother. That's what the memory.
My comments twice.
Oh yeah, one's going over to Phil's channel.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
So at the end of it, when she refuses to fight, Anakin takes steps back and here. I pointed this out to Maxis. That was Vader, and then when he turned back, which is interesting enough, because as a Force ghost, when he went from being Vader with the red eyes back to Anakin with the blue eyes, Vader Anakin looked sick. If you get me, like Vader looked sick.
I would like to introduce a thought idea that might explain this, but also kind of I feel like
I don't want to say make people upset, but like
I don't think people would agree with it necessarily. Since the whole thing is technically a memory almost, right?
Yes.
I would argue that it's not actually a real Force ghost of like the true spirit of Anakin Skywalker. It's almost like like a memory Force ghost. So it's like I feel like the kind of dark turns that Anakin does in that fight is Ahsoka kind of reliving those negative feelings that she could feel from Anakin because this again takes place after Rebels, so she's already fought him at that one Sith temple where she went into the world between worlds before, and I think it was just kind of one of those things where like she's re-experiencing those negative feelings from that fight, and so in turn, like Anakin's, Force ghost Anakin, quote unquote, is reacting to those feelings.
Yeah, but from her, what she has been through since she saw Anakin, right? She
Yeah.
has seen more Jedi die. She has seen the rise of the rise of the Republic, and the Republic becoming as useless and as corrupt as the original Republic. She's seen everywhere she looks, there's Imperials hiding everywhere. Basically around every corner, there's an Imperial. She's getting nowhere. She's out looking for her friend. Everywhere she turns, she's told, "Stop looking, he's dead. Stop looking, he's dead." No one cares. When she asked the Senate to help her, they didn't care. Senator like Leia didn't do anything. Mon Mothma didn't do anything. She's out looking for herself, and they're referring to her mission to find Ezra as a pointless mission. That he wasn't trying. Okay, so Grey God here says he wasn't trying to kill her. He just wanted her to realize that she wants to live. His intention was to force her. Sorry, it was for her to get back to how she was before the fall. That is why she is in white now, to symbolize the change. Yes, I will. I actually have a photo of that to bring it up. He needed to pull her on to the verge of thinking she was going to die for her to realize that she didn't want to give up. Because before the fight, she was pretty much done. Yeah, that is actually reflected in her clothes, which I will bring up in a minute, Grey God. So, after the fight, yeah, so Ahsoka has seen her friends die. She sees like new Jedi pop up, but there are also dark Jedi. She has met one Jedi. Well, two with Luke, but I'm talking about someone who knows what a Jedi is. Right? Out of everything, she has seen two Jedi. Her attempt to make a third one failed with Sabine. She's beaten. Honestly. Like, she's having a crisis of faith. To put it into a religious terms. What would you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I would agree with that because I mean, I agree with kind of what Gregor said, that she's basically kind of done fighting. She doesn't want to participate in any wars anymore. She's actively trying to avoid another fight by fighting a little bit. And I think Anakin's whole point, like Gregor was saying, was to not only push her to like want to fight again, but also like, help her understand that preventing another war like that by only giving, I guess, half measures isn't actually fighting. You're not pulling up the root, of the problem. You're just simply like plucking off the leaves until they can regrow again.
Can I give... Oh, Max, what would you think?
Hold on, brinking English for a moment.
Basically, what I was saying is like Ahsoka basically being done. Like,
yeah.
Oh, she was in a downward spiral. She was like ready to just rest.
Yeah.
After having to deal with all the everything. She's had to deal with so much war and pain and loss that she isn't sure if she should continue with that. She just
Yeah.
wouldn't calm down.
Oh yeah, which I completely agree with. I have another theory, and this goes for the panel as well. Well, I mean the audience as well on both channels. With Ahsoka looking for Ezra, I don't think she's looking for Ezra. I think that's her excuse.
Mhm.
If Ezra's in another galaxy, she can go there. No war, no pain, no loss.
I
I
agree. Dave.
think she is running away.
Well,
See,
yeah,
I can't
I
agree
definitely running
with
away
that.
from her responsibilities.
Yeah. Phil, you were
Yes, I
saying?
think so far, for the most part, like what Ahsoka's been running away from was like herself, and facing Anakin in a way forced her to deal with herself.
Yeah. Like whatever, like Anakin forced her to basically be as we saw her at the end of Rebels, because at the end of Rebels was a temporary solution for her. I think, in a way, let's put it as someone who's depressed. I think it's a reprieve from her depression. I think she got a rare moment of happiness.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
that.
Now, going to go back to what Grey God said. Okay. Where is it?
I kind of want to speak to
Go ahead.
Ahsoka's belief in Sabine a little bit, and kind of also like about Sabine just a tad.
Sure, go ahead.
I know in one of the episodes, both Hu Yang, I can never pronounce his name correctly, and Ahsoka kind of mention her potential in the Force. But I mean, if we all remember, Obi-Wan's midichlorian count wasn't that super impressive either. It took a lot of training, hard work, and dedication for him to build up the abilities he was able to use to both defeat Anakin and kind of watch over Luke. Like, he didn't just get that good, from just lying in his bed and waiting for something to happen or awaken within him. He earned that. He worked hard. He was diligent about, like, practicing the Force and using it, and making sure that he could be the best Jedi Padawan for Qui-Gon and everything. And I feel like, honestly, that's what they're gonna try and put Sabine through. And also, like, I feel like that kind of speaks to Ahsoka's sense of loss. She's met a student with almost like an impossible challenge, because she doesn't really know anything about building midichlorian counts. She doesn't know anything really about, like, kind of training on that level to produce stuff. Ahsoka was kind of intrinsically a little more in tune with the Force than Sabine was.
Yeah. Now,
But you do
building.
know, even though the Kenobi's midichlorian count was low, it wasn't low enough to impress the Duchess of Mandalore.
That's true. You know what? That's true, Phil. He
But
did snag that bag. He did snag that bag.
But with that, like, that's one of the failures of the Jedi. The Jedi are like, oh yeah, we're not, like, no attachments for us. Yeah, no, like Obi-Wan would have left the Jedi if like Satine had said, yeah, come on, leave. He would have been gone. But so I'm going to bring this up for Grey God, because he was mentioning it. As we can see here, when Ahsoka was lost, she wore grey, right? And throughout all of Ahsoka, she has been wearing grey. Here she is here she is at the end of Clone Wars. Even in Rebels, like where's the picture of her in Rebels? No, that's not her in Rebels. Ah, here she is. She's wearing grey. Right? She is lost. When she found herself, she is wearing white.
You know what I just realized too? That's actually low-key a really great cinematography way of kind of telling the different sides of the Force, Ashla and Bogan, because, like, after Ahsoka was revived, quote unquote, by the daughter, the light side of the Force and stuff, the embodiment, the daughter was supposed to be Ashla, and then the son representing Bogan, and their father would be in their current situation amongst the like original three
Yeah. Now
elders
this is
of the
going to
Force or
be
whatever. He would
this
have
is
been
going to
both
be interesting.
undo.
I think because Anakin has been both light and dark, and given his power and what we saw today being Vader and Anakin, I think Anakin is taking the place of the father. Right? I think Ahsoka is taking the place of the daughter of the Mortis. Hold on. Since we can't change Ahsoka's hair, another means of art would be is the color of the clothes. Yeah, exactly. Like what they do in a lot of shows is when they show characters, they usually change their hair. Like you see someone who's always had like their hair like tied up, they come out with their hair down or new haircut with a smile on their face, drinking coffee, something.
Yeah.
And you're like that person feels different, but they can't with Ahsoka. Okay, the Mortis arc is just a metaphor for the Force. The cosmic force is a mysterious thing, at least it should be. That is true, but what I'm just saying is she is because we had the brother, the sister, the father, and at one stage we had the mother, but the mother's dead. Now all the three of them
It's
are
her
dead.
Gandalf moment.
What?
Greg got said in chat, it's her Gandalf moment.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Bianchi says we see it in Doctor Strange. That is true. The Clone Wars episode you're referring to is the Mortis, written by Lucas. I'm not sure they can steal it outright. Not sure. Actually, they've got like Dave Filoni worked on it, like so. As well.
Also, the Clone Wars was a Disney product, so.
But
Because
it
it came out
was
after
for the 7th season.
the whole
Go ahead,
Clone Wars
Phil.
was a Disney project because it came out after the prequel trilogy, and I'm pretty sure the prequel trilogy was just after George had sold the movie
Nope.
rights to Star
No,
Wars.
the first thing
No.
after
So you're
the
confusing it.
buyout
You're
was
confusing it. So Clone Wars seasons 1 through 6 were made before the Disney merger. Season 7
was?
of Clone Wars was made after the Disney merger.
the first thing that came out after the Disney merger was The Force Awakens.
Yep.
Really, I thought Disney owned it before that too.
No.
No, Disney bought this film in 2013.
Oh,
By
okay,
then,
I thought they bought it
the
like
prequels-
later, 2009 or something.
That's when they
yeah,
got
no.
into negotiations. The full thing went through just shy of 2012, and then after that came The Force Awakens.
Got you. That's mostly what I've been confused. I must have gotten the negotiations messed up in my head. I thought it was when they actually acquired Disney,
No.
Lucas.
Now we need to talk about Max's favorite moment in the show. Max, would you like to talk about it?
You know what? Favorite is putting that very highly, and that is a terrifying thought. I actually found this part to be dealing with how they were dealing with how to get to continue with the story of getting through to hyperspace. They decided to bring back the lovely looking. I can't say that with a straight face. They brought out the Purgles, the ugly whale tentacle mother. Ugh. And so when they decided that was a smart move to like just go up on a ship, go over to the Purgle, be like, and decided to force talk out of all things. I'm sorry, that is using the power of basic white bitch pumpkin spice.
Max, would you like to say how you said it?
It basically just looked at them being like, force talk being like, by the power of pumpkin spice, get in the fucking whale.
Yes, because this part was honestly a bit stupid. Max, how did they escape the galaxy?
They had the biggest whale of them eat the ship and just put it in the mouth and just go through hyperspace.
Yeah,
Try
that
to
was kind of weird.
see where they're gonna go. I'm just like, you're gonna end up in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Well,
Yeah,
I just thought it was weird because like it almost seemed like she like telepathically communed with the whale, which I didn't know Ahsoka had that kind of like ability to commune with animals like that.
We didn't realize that we'd have to have someone roll a d20 for animal handling.
No,
Yeah,
I
that
really
was-
did. Well, I didn't think she was gonna pull a D20 for animal handling out of her ass either. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
let me not just control like a hyperspace whale, but also the biggest one in this pod.
Like that will do it.
Yeah.
No, that one won't do it. That one's going to eat you for lunch and then shit out your guts. Instead of having the mouth just slightly open to where they can
my
see
thing.
that
I'm like,
lovely
how does
sight.
the hyperspace whale know not to eat them? Like, did she talk to them beforehand? Did they make a deal like, hey, travel this far?
Is that what was
the
going on with the like? And I'll be like,
this is
you're the animal handling. Hey.
guys. This
She
is
just-
Hu Yang.
She just
gonna go
gave
into your
the
mouth.
hyperspace whale the GPS, the Garmin, and then the hyperspace was like, got it. I'll let you know when we're there.
Ezra, I know that guy. Yeah, good guy. Boy, watch on. Or hold on, give me a minute. What if the whale just go? Oh shit.
And when it didn't help that towards the end of it, the whale had it wide enough to where they could actually see everything light up. I'm sorry that I hope that whale has a gag reflex because the ship would end up having to launch backwards towards the road. that whale is going to choke on that ship.
Dude, right? Imagine traveling at hyperspace speeds as a whale. Bro, that ship is gonna hit your little like, dangly thing in the back of your
Uvula.
throat, bro. Yeah, like it's gonna
Guys, did you notice the mouth on the whale, the barbs on the front of it? That means that the whale is it's a krill feeder.
Yeah, it's a filter feeder, but that was known. I think that's referenced when they talk about Purgle in either a Star Wars Rebel episode or you can read about it. I think there was a Star Wars like Rebel comic series for a short while. Something like that. There was some kind of reference to Purgles in like either the comics or the Rebel show where they talk about how they're filter feeders on like space krill. But I'm like, it's space. The only thing in there is like dust.
So Shifty Gizm says, all's well that ends
well.
Now, when they get to the other side, that ship is going to have to lift off using thrusters. That ship is going to have to fly out again using thrusters, which means superheated ion.
That's going to hurt the whale.
Ahsoka's just sitting there like she's basically high now. She's like, yeah, man, oh cool.
Like, we'll be fine. We're just gonna sit here, see where it goes. It's not like we're doing anything else. It'll be fine. Sabine can wait for us.
They probably parked and turned off the ship once they got inside the Purgle's mouth.
Yeah. Which is
I would assume.
It's ship back on afterwards.
Because otherwise that whale is going to get gassed up on rocket fuel, and I pray for his lungs.
Are they going to find Jonah sitting over in the corner with Pinocchio and the little cat going, hello, come, let us sit.
No, that's from a different galaxy far, far away.
How do you know? They're all Disney projects now.
Shit, that means
I had a long conversation with Walt before he passed, and he told me that would never happen.
Hold on.
Walt's probably rolling in his fucking grave by this point.
Star Wars is
no. He's like, Jewish people in Disneyland? How dare they?
Hold on, guys. Star Wars is now a Disney project, correct?
Right.
Yeah, which makes Leia and the rest of the Star Wars princesses. Disney princesses.
Leia is the Star Wars Disney princess. I vote that in all Disney theme parks, that all the princesses of Leia must be wearing that gold bikini.
Yes.
Everyone with me.
Potato. Do we need to have a talk about appropriateness in the workplace? Okay, listen, Potato. We can't suggest our coworkers wear gold bikinis now. Okay.
I'm not suggesting my coworkers. I'm suggesting the boss. There's a difference. Can't get in for trouble if you're suggesting the boss. No, I'm not suggesting coworkers. I'm suggesting
the whale could travel or feed some thrusters. You probably wouldn't hurt.
guys.
See, the cool
Seeing as
part
where
about Natalie Gaiman being Queen Amidala is now she's a Disney Queen too. So,
here's the guys. Here's the thing. Seeing as where the hyperspace comes out of, is the poop just ejected or is it vaporized? Because does that mean hyperspace is now full of hyperspeed poop?
Honestly, I think I can actually answer this one in just like simple like space physics at this point. So like I think honestly, it probably does come out in hyperspace. If it does come out in hyperspace, I mean, think about it. It's not the same as the Purgle themselves, who perpetually move at light speed or close to light speed, I guess. So it would naturally slow down to a lower velocity, probably just short of light speed. But at that speed, it's poop, not a Purgle, so it'd probably just disintegrate like a comet entering the atmosphere.
But what if a Purgle gives birth to hyperspace?
I don't think that would happen. I feel like there's probably birthing grounds that they go to.
One would hope.
And
At least.
on that note,
that was
do you want to shield ourselves and we wrap this up?
I always wrap it up. Oh wait, you need a show. I'm sorry.
with a bow.
FPS.
Only on Chris.
Domiciled.
So okay, so guys, go and check out our good friend Forvitian Guard over at the YouTube channel Forvitian Guard. He is a author. He has written a book called The Forvitian Chronicles. He also does live streams and uploads multiple times a week. He has a mini series which is fucking hilarious of the weird shit he finds in Target and when he's out shopping. He's doing a lot of gaming. He's at the moment he's doing community polls, which is asking people which games, and he's doing Sonic Frontiers right now at the moment. So, guys, please go and check out my good friend Forvitian Guard. He is like absolutely fantastic, and I promise you, you will learn 95 new swear words that you have never known existed.
I might
Like,
have to.
You're putting
Like-
95 at a light number there.
Okay,
It goes with a very colorful dictionary. It's been great.
I might need
Yeah,
to watch more often. I don't think I've caught any of the new swear
Hey,
words.
John.
either.
There is the link to Far's channel. Over on his channel is also the link to his book. Please, for the love of God, go and check him out. Now, also in the chat right here is our good friend John DeMarco. John DeMarco does a nerd Star Trek Jeopardy thing called Jep Nerdy every Saturday, I believe it is. Where you go in, you see you can answer questions, test your knowledge on how much you actually know Star Trek, which is actually good. Like he pulls up the most obscure things that you wouldn't even know, which is like, wait, what? It's like the sound of a Pacific thing. It's like, what's that? That is the sound of a communicator from a TOS episode where the damaged communicator from 1966. Like, wait, what? The stuff he pulls up is absolutely fantastic. So please go over and check out John DeMarco. He is like brilliant. FPS, you want me to shield you?
Yes, because I'm awful.
Guys, go check out FPS here over on Twitch. Look up Raised by FPS. What he does is he plays Destiny, he plays Ark, he plays other games. He is after building a fantastic community on his Discord. If you're playing a game that he's playing and you need help, go through. If you just need someone to talk to, go and join his Discord. Like absolutely fantastic guy. Yeah, so John is on at 9 p.m. Eastern every Saturday night. Go and check him out. Also, if you like fantastic beards, he's the man to go and see. Phil, you want to shield yourself?
See how it is.
So, Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's your turn,
Yeah.
Phil.
I am just your random ass Jedi Master Ninja Turtle making random videos from the sewers off Tatooine. Also streaming. So, if for those of you who are in my chat, goes up to Potato Raven, amazing
Revan,
guy,
thank you very much.
awesome channel. Would love to see him get more subs than I do.
Yeah, my channel is literally my name, Potato Revan. Where we also talk. Friday night we're talking the Oklahoma City bombing, true crime, and on Sunday we're talking about the absolutely abysmal fall and burn of Hollywood. So yeah, it is dead. Hollywood is. So yeah, Maxis, I would like to thank you for coming.
Of
Race
course.
by
And
FPS.
back into the void.
Yeah, I would like to thank you as well, Phil. Thank you. I would also like people to go and check out my our good friend Jet Sparks over on YouTube and on Twitch, both the same name, Jet Sparks, with an X instead of a K. He is a fantastic guy. New streamer, needs more subs, more love. Go and check him out. So thank you all for coming. We will see you Friday. If you're here, please go and subscribe from Phil's channel. Please go and subscribe to me. I'm over on YouTube at Potato Revan. You can see me by my logo, which is right here. This is me. Hello, Woods Mother Fluffers. So go check me out. I would like to thank everyone for coming, everyone for watching, everyone in the future for watching. So I put a vote in the chat asking, are you enjoying Star Wars? Out of 17 votes, we have 76% saying, enjoying Ahsoka. 76% of the votes are saying yes out of 17, while 24% are saying no. I would also like to just put out there that I do appreciate both positive and negative comments about Ahsoka. We do not live in an echo chamber.
Mhm.
So all opinions are welcome, unless you're French. I'm just messing. France isn't real. But guys, go and check both of us out. Go and check out Phil TMT if you're like one of my guys. Go and check out Potato Revan, which is me. Thank you, Potato. You're very welcome. From if you're from Phil's channel, good night, God bless, and may the force be with you. And just remember that when you reach out your hand at the middle of the night, Max, would you like to read this out?
No, I'm tired. I want to go sleep.
By the power of pumpkin spice, get in the fucking whale.